The Enlightenment of Siddhartha Gautama. The day of Buddha's enlightenment, also known as Bodhi Day or Buddha Purnima, is one of the most significant events in Buddhist history. It is traditionally celebrated on the full moon day of the Vaisakha month, usually falling in April or May. The story of Buddha's enlightenment is commonly referred to as the Enlightenment of Siddhartha Gautama. Before attaining enlightenment, Siddhartha Gautama, the prince who would later become the Buddha, had embarked on a spiritual quest for many years. He practiced various ascetic disciplines and followed the teachings of renowned teachers and gurus, but none of them brought him the answers he sought regarding the nature of suffering and the path to liberation. One day, Siddhartha decided to meditate beneath a Bodhi tree later known as the Bodhi tree, on the banks of the Naranjana River in Bodh Gaya, India. He vowed not to rise from meditation until he found the truth he sought. Siddhartha sat with unyielding determination, facing the challenges posed by Mara. Mara, in Buddhist mythology, is often depicted as the personification of desire, delusion, and the forces of ignorance and temptation, who tried to distract and hinder him from attaining enlightenment. As Siddhartha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, fully determined to attain enlightenment, Mara attempted to distract and obstruct him from his quest. Mara knew that, if Siddhartha succeeded in his pursuit, he would break free from the cycle of birth and rebirth, thereby weakening Mara's influence over him and countless beings. Throughout the night, Mara launched a series of assaults on Siddhartha's mind, in the form of temptations, fears, and doubts. Mara sent his daughters, known as the daughters of Mara, to seduce Siddhartha with desires and worldly pleasures, hoping to lure him away from his focused meditation. However, Siddhartha remained steadfast and unmoved, maintaining his deep concentration and mindfulness. He neither indulged in desire nor resisted it, but instead observed these distractions with unwavering awareness and inner strength. In another attempt to disturb Siddhartha, Mara called upon his army of demons, who unleashed a torrent of arrows and weapons towards the Bodhi tree. But as the arrows approached Siddhartha, they transformed into flowers and fell harmlessly around him. His equanimity and compassion transformed the weapons of violence into symbols of beauty. Finally, as a last resort, Mara claimed his own right to the throne of enlightenment, demanding that Siddhartha provide witnesses to validate his spiritual journey. In response, Siddhartha simply touched the earth with his right hand, calling upon the earth goddess as a witness to the countless virtuous actions he had accumulated over countless lifetimes. At that moment, the earth goddess arose from the ground and affirmed Siddhartha's worthiness, bearing witness to his enlightenment. This powerful gesture defeated Mara's final attempt to disrupt Siddhartha's resolve. Having triumphed over the forces of Mara and his own inner struggles, Siddhartha experienced profound and intense insights into the nature of existence, the cycle of birth and rebirth samsara, and the Four Noble Truths. Finally, at the break of dawn, Siddhartha Gautama attained supreme enlightenment. As the morning star rose in the sky, he became the Buddha, the fully awakened one, or the enlightened one. The defeat of Mara symbolizes the triumph of wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness over ignorance and delusion. It exemplifies the Buddha's unwavering determination and his ability to transcend the challenges posed by worldly temptations, leading him to the ultimate state of enlightenment and liberation. The Buddha realized the Four Noble Truths, which are the truths of suffering dukkha, the origin of suffering samudaya, the cessation of suffering nirada, and the path to the cessation of suffering magga. His enlightenment marked the end of his personal quest and the beginning of his mission to teach the Dharma and guide others on the path to liberation. After attaining enlightenment, the Buddha spent several weeks contemplating the profundity of his realization. He then decided to share his insights with others, and began teaching the middle way, the Eightfold Path, and other essential teachings that became the foundation of Buddhism. The day of Buddha's enlightenment is celebrated with reverence and joy by Buddhists worldwide. It is a time for meditation, reflection, and acts of compassion and generosity, honoring the Buddha's profound awakening and the timeless wisdom he imparted to the world.